Welcome this morning, everybody, to a very special live lesson with Isabella Legio from Barefoot.
Good morning.
We are going to go on an underwater adventure following Turtle to the Kelpie Deep to learn all about fishing. And we're focusing on fishing because this week is Cyber Scotland Week. It's a really special week that brings together everyone from all over Scotland, no matter what age you are. So you could be a learner at school, you could be a teacher, you could be somebody that has your own business, or you could be a granny, absolutely anyone. And Cyber Scotland Week helps us to learn about cyber threats, so dangers and risks that we can face when we're online. And it also helps us to learn what we can do to overcome them, to be resilient and to avoid them. And it helps us to find out where we can access information to help us do that. So for a lot of the grown-ups, they'll be joining webinars to get information. But for us, we're having a live lesson. We're going to play a game to learn what fishing is. And we're going to do that with the Fisherman Live lesson. So this is Turtle, and he is the head of the new security team in an underwater village called Kelpie Deep. And he's going to teach us all about fishing. So we're going to learn, first of all, what fishing is and why cyber criminals use it. We're going to learn what sort of digital technology is used by cyber criminals, what sort of technology they use for fishing, and just common important pieces of information about fishing. And then most importantly, what we can do to stop becoming victims of phishing scams. So I hope you're sitting comfortably. I'm going to hand over now to Isabella, and I'm going to play along too. So I hope I can make some good decisions in this game. Thank you, Isabella.
All right, fabulous. So if you want to, you can play along with the game too as we go through. So you've got a QR code there that you can scan, or I'll give you the link in a second if you want to type it in, or you can just play along with us on the screen. So it's completely up to you. It might be that you want to have a look at what we're doing and then perhaps go back and play the game in your classes a little bit later on, and that's absolutely fine too. So my name is Isabella, and I work for Barefoot. Barefoot are the company that have produced the Fisherman game, along with lots of other resources that you might have seen before or that you can use to help with computing. And this particular one, as we just heard, is all about being cyber smart. So this is all about the fisherman, which is a bit of a funny word, isn't it? And if we look at the spelling of fisherman, it doesn't really look quite like the fisherman we might have been expecting. So if you don't know what that word means, don't worry too much, because we're going to find out as we go along and as we play the game. All of the resources that we look at today are all available for you to download free from the Barefoot website, and we'll give you the link later if you don't have it already. So our objectives for what we're going to talk about in the call today, we're going to think about that funny word phishing and think about why cyber criminals might want to do that. We're going to think about the kinds of technologies that might be used for phishing, think about the features and themes of phishing, and really importantly, as we've just mentioned, how we can prevent being a victim of phishing. So the link for the game that we're going to play, the Fisherman game, is on the screen now. And we're going to play the game all together. So we're going to go down to Kelpie Deeps and see what's happening. And we are going to play the game. So I'm just going to flick over on my screen, and I am going to share the game with you. And I'm just going to put some audio on there so that we can see. And I'm going to...
Hi, I'm Turtle, the new head of the cybersecurity team in our underwater village, Kelpie Deeps. Today I am here to help you learn about fishing. You don't know what fishing is? Don't worry, all will become clear soon. First, I'm going to need your nickname.
I need to think of a nickname. So I need to think of a nickname that doesn't contain my real name. The nickname is a bit like we can use on screen, but it doesn't give away any of our my real details. So I'm going to put in *123. So that's going to be my nickname. It doesn't have any of my personal information in it. Oh, now I need to choose an avatar. Picture to go with my character. Go for that one.
Hey, you look great! As you complete challenges on our adventure, you'll earn cyber points, so you can see how well you're doing. But for every mistake you make, you'll also lose a life. In a moment, you shall be able to see how many lives you have left at the top of your screen.
Right, it says be careful, lives and points count towards your final score. Avoid getting fished and keep your details safe to avoid losing lives. Get questions right to gain points and try to avoid losing points by choosing wrong answers. So let's add the lives and points to the top. There we go. And we can now enter Kelpie Deeps. When we enter Kelpie Deeps, we can see there's lots of different games here. And the first one that we start with is Turtle. So you can see Turtle is there waiting for us to play their game.
I'm glad you found me. We have had some problems with our villagers' personal information being stolen.
You will see a little box at the bottom. That means if you click on it, it will tell you what to do next when people see more information.
Personal information is data such as your name, date of birth, or address. Let me show you what your information looks like.
Okay, let's generate the details of our personal information. What can we see here? So I can see my nickname and my avatar that I chose. I can see my email address. I can see my password. That password looks quite like a long password, doesn't it? It's got letters and numbers and symbols. So that looks like quite a good password. We'll talk about that in a moment. But I can see my home address and I can see my payment card, my bank account details there. Oh my goodness. But it does say, don't worry, this information is only used for today's adventure. Well, that's good, isn't it? Because I definitely wouldn't want to share that personal information with anyone else. And by the way, this information is just for the game, so it's real information.
Were you paying attention? Do you remember what personal information is?
Right, what is personal information? Asking a friend for information, personal equipment, or information that is private and should not be shared with strangers. In your classes, you could maybe have a 10-second chat. Which one of those do you think it is? You could have a think too.
We can pop mics on this morning as well. We only have, I think, 6 classes on the call this morning. So feel free to pop your microphones on and you can shout out the answer.
Fabulous. Does anyone want to have a go? See lots of hands. Do you want to unmute there? There'll be lots more questions. So if you do want to unmute, then that's absolutely fine a little bit later on. Eva, what do you think? Which of those 3 options would you go for? What is personal information? I'm going to go for information that is private and should not be shared with strangers. Let's see if I'm right.
Well done!
I am. So personal information that is private and should not be shared with strangers. You might have talked about that already in your class. So well done if you got that one.
Term discovered. Personal information is information that is private and should not be shared with strangers.
Okay.
Excellent work! It is super important to keep your personal information safe, as criminals can use it to scam you. Cyber criminals will often try phishing.
There's that funny word, phishing, that we said is spelled with a PH instead of an F. So let's find out a bit more about that, because that word is really important in this game.
Yes, phishing is when cyber criminals try and trick people into giving away personal information online, such as their passwords and bank account details.
Okay, so we're talking about cyber criminals trying to trick people into giving away that personal information online.
It is so important that we keep ourselves safe from these scams. Falling for a scam could allow a criminal to gain access to your online accounts and steal your money.
And a scam, if you haven't heard that word before, it's a bit like the word trick that we just heard. So a scam is really just another word for a trick. They're often done either using some kind of technology, like a website or an app or a game, or sometimes on the phone as well.
Word discovered! Phishing is a method which cyber criminals use to try and trick people into giving away personal information online, such as their passwords and bank account details. I think you're now ready to help the other villagers protect themselves against the phishing attacks.
Okay, so as we go through the game, we will be earning these stars and hearts at the top every time we discover words and get things right. So just before we keep going with our game, I'm going to just go back to my slides a second and share that one instead. Because I wonder if you, in your classes, I'm just going to mute my little game a minute so it doesn't keep playing that music. I wonder if you, in your classes, could have a quick 2-minute chat just about personal information, so we're really sure what we mean by personal information. So my questions to you are, what other examples of personal information can you think of, and why is it important to keep our personal information private? We heard about our name and our address, didn't we? There were a couple of ones that we heard. But I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes to talk about that. And you can either pop your ideas in the chat, or you can perhaps unmute and share them with us. Eva, can you think of any other examples of personal information?
Well, something that you're often asked for when you're creating a new account is your mum's maiden name, so that your mum's last name before she got married.
Yeah, that's a good one. Do you think that's okay to share, or is that something we should keep private?
I see lots of discussion in Miss Boyce's class.
Because actually, sometimes we use that maiden name, don't we, as a kind of password almost on the phone. So sometimes they might say, well, can you confirm this? And then I know I'm speaking to the right person. So I think that would be something that really should be kept personal and something that only we should know. I wonder if Mrs. Boyce's class have got any ideas. Do they want to put anything into the chat or perhaps unmute their microphone? Lots of hands up there.
Hi.
Hi there.
Your car registration details if you were an adult. Yep. Emily?
Any card details or PIN?
No card details or PIN numbers. Booby?
Addresses?
Home address? Absolutely not. Emma? Age? Yep. Your email address? So what was the other thing someone mentioned? Khadija? Your phone number? Yep. Never put that on. Millie?
The family member's name.
Family members' names? Joseph?
Or like your passwords for anything?
Passwords for anything. Okay, thank
Brilliant.
you.
Fabulous. You know, while you were talking, I was just thinking about photos as well, because photos can give away quite a lot of information about us sometimes, can't they? You know, if we maybe post or send someone a photo of us like in our school uniform, or maybe outside our house or our school, or a club we go to, it can kind of give away information without even realizing sometimes. So sometimes we have to think really carefully about where we're giving away information. They are fabulous ideas. Thank you for sharing those. So we know that cyber criminals can obtain personal information about us using the internet. So I wonder if you could have a quick chat about where you think on the internet personal information about you might be found? And how can we ensure that this personal information isn't stolen and then used within phishing scams? So I'll give you another few seconds to have a chat about that. So where is that information found, and how can we be really careful to make sure it's not stolen? Either of you got any ideas about where on the internet personal information about us might be stored?
Well, it might be, depending on what age you are, but if you have a social media account, you might have some personal information there, depending on your settings, on your privacy settings.
Absolutely. So that's important, isn't it? The privacy settings. And if we make sure that our accounts or any kind of accounts or chat that we have in games is set up really securely, so that only people that we know can see us and see our information, then that does help to keep things secure. The best thing to do, I always think, is just not to put personal information about ourselves online when we can help it, because we never quite know who can have access to it, because the privacy settings can be quite tricky sometimes. But yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're going to play the next game in Kelpie Deeps. So the next game is the whale mini game. So I'm just going to flick over to that one. And I'm going to turn on my audio so that we can hear.
One last thing, watch out for this scammer along the way. They go by the name of the Fisherman and have been trying to fish us for weeks.
Okay, so we're trying to watch out for this fisherman scammer. Right, so I'm going to click on the whale next.
Hey there, welcome to the village. I'm Whale. Turtle has been telling me that you are learning about fishing. Now, I have the perfect game to help you learn about how you can spot a phishing scam. Would you like to play?
Oh my goodness, okay. Training game, how to play. View screenshots of messages that are part of phishing scams.
Choose the suspicious characteristic visible in the screenshot.
Okay.
Be quick and make your choice before the time runs out. Get as many as possible right to get a high score.
Okay.
Too good to be true. Extremely good offers, too good to be true. Extremely good offers and eye-catching or attention-grabbing statements are designed to attract your attention immediately, but don't fall for it.
Okay, so we've got too good to be true. When something seems too good to be true, what do we say? It usually is. So that's one of the options. These are all characteristics of phishing scams. So there's 5 here. Let's find another one.
Design error. Some phishing scams look genuine, but there are often small errors in their design that give it away.
Okay, so design error. We've got too good to be true. We've got design error.
Untrusted source. Whether it looks like it's from someone you don't know or someone you do know, if anything seems out of the ordinary or just suspicious in general, don't click on it.
Okay, so something that we don't trust. The under pressure.
Under pressure. Intimidation by putting pressure on you to make a decision is a popular tactic for phishing scams. Phrases such as urgent action required are common.
Okay, under pressure. And the final characteristic?
Bad grammar. Phishing scams can be littered with poor grammar and spelling errors. This is a warning sign, as trustworthy organizations avoid communicating in such an unprofessional way.
Okay, so we've got 5 characteristics there. Bad grammar, under pressure, too good to be true, design error, and untrusted source. So we're going to start the game, and in this game we have to choose which of these characteristics we think applies in the scenario. Now, I tell you what, I sometimes find this game a little bit like I'm under pressure because we're on a time limit, so we haven't got too long. So let's have a look. You have been hacked. Reply to this message with your full name and home address and start to save your account from the hack. Thanks. Right, which one of those is that? Is it bad grammar? Is it it under pressure? Is it too good to be true? Is it design error? I might go for bad grammar. I can see some spelling mistakes, I think. Okay, Fishmail from TikTok help. Save account now. Confirm your details. Oh, is that under pressure? Into your personal account. This is feeling this white line is putting me under pressure. Okay, I'm going to go for under pressure. Do we think? Oh my goodness. Okay, never mind. Doesn't matter. Facebook.247login.com. That doesn't look right. Is that design error? Design error. Could be untrusted source. I'm going to go for untrusted source. Your account has been compromised. Act fast and secure your account by replying to this message. Oh, urgent action. I think that's definitely under pressure, isn't it? That's definitely under pressure. You just won a free PS5. Oh, that's good. Just follow the link that will claim your prize. Congratulations, you are one lucky fish. Just reply to this with your email and home address to get started.
Sounds too good to be true, doesn't it?
No one would give it a PS5. Let's see. Trustworthy. Fish chat. Login. Trustworthy.12345.net. That's not trustworthy, is it? I'm going to go for another Fishmail from Games Jack. All free. Another PS5. Delighted to tell you you're the lucky winner, chosen randomly from millions of people. Claim prize now. What do we think? That has to be too good to be true. Movies for you. Confirm payment. Complete. Oh, that's really bad spelling. Complete your subscription now to the last couple. That's got to be bad.
That was a little tricky, wasn't it? Let's have a look at the characteristics you found most difficult to find.
Now, the good news is, if you get any of them wrong, like I did, you can find out why and where you went.
I got some wrong too.
It's that white line. A lot of pressure. Oh, look, under pressure. Intimidation by putting pressure on you to make a decision is a popular tactic. Yeah, we said that, didn't we? So phrases such as urgent action required are popular. Okay, that's fine.
Hopefully you learned a thing or two about how to spot phishing scams. Now see if you can help out the other villagers.
And perhaps, or the children watching, when you have a go at playing this game later, perhaps you can see if you can get them all right. Okay, let's have a look. Other villages. Right, before we go to the next village, I'm just going to mute that one. I'm just going to flip to this one. And I want us to have a little think for a moment about phishing messages. So we said that the features often found within phishing messages are bad grammar, yeah, under pressure, too good to be true. We had a few of those with the PS5s, didn't we? Design errors, and untrusted sources. Okay, so from places that we're not sure about. Quite tricky, that one to spot, actually. So I was wondering if you could take a moment to come up with your own example of a phishing message for one of the features. And this, again, might be a really nice activity for you to do after the call, to perhaps design your own phishing scam, which is really fun. The class that I teach did that last week and they really enjoyed it. So can you come up with your own example of a phishing message for one of the features? For example, for under pressure, you might write, "You have won a brand new games console if you reply to this message in the next 30 seconds. So I'm going to give you a moment in your classes just to see if you can come up with an idea of a phishing message. And if you would like to share them in the chat, please do. Or if you want to unmute your microphones, that's fine too. So I'll give you a moment to do that. I see lots of hands up and lots of thought going on there. I quite like the under pressure one because actually we do sometimes see quite a lot of those, don't we? You know, you have to answer this in the next 60 minutes, or the first 5 people to do this will get X. And so you kind of think, oh, I must be in the first 5 people. And I was thinking, actually, when my daughter was playing a game called Duolingo, which some of you might play, and it kept saying, oh, you need to keep up your streak. You need to keep up your streak. And so she was always, you know, trying to keep up her streak by playing it every day. And I thought, oh, actually, I'm not sure if that's getting her to play it a bit too much, because we kind of feel like we have to keep playing the game. But actually, we don't have to keep playing the game. We can just play it when we want to play it. So we do see under pressure happening quite often, I think.
Yeah.
Would you like to share?
1 6. And like 1 6.
Oh, I couldn't quite catch that. If you want to share it again, then please do. Otherwise, feel free to pop it in the chat.
Okay, I'm keeping a little eye on the chat to see if we've got any messages coming in.
All right, we can always check it before the end, Eva, so we can always come back to it. So if it's taking a minute, I know that's actually, you might need a bit more thinking time about that, because it's quite a tricky ask, but actually it might really be worth spending a bit more time when you have a moment to do that, because as I said, it's really fun activity. All right, we're going to go back to Kelpie Deeps and we are going to play the fish mini game this time. So let's turn that audio on. And it is the bluefin.
Hi, I'm Fish. I'm just watching this hilarious new knick-knack video. Have you got it? You should follow me. I do some cool tricks on there.
Knick-knack, that reminds me of another video sharing site that maybe some of you look at. Okay, so Fish has asked us to follow them on the site so we can see what they're up to. Okay, skillful Fish. I'm going to follow.
Thanks. I have a lot of followers, as you can see, but I always appreciate another one. Be careful on knick-knack, though. There are plenty of scammers trying to fish your account.
What does this say? Knick-knack messages. Hi there. Download the new version of knick-knack.
Knick-knack 78. Download the new version of knick-knack. Enjoy knick-knack videos and make some yourself. Now knick-knack is only available in your region as knick-knack Pro. Download below. Link, //tiny.cc/d-link.
Download. There's a spelling mistake in that, isn't there? And the second time it says download. Right, what are our options?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Click the link. Block this user.
I wonder if we could do a hands up.
Who are you?
I can actually see you there. So we're going to have a vote, I think. So think about what you think is the best option. So pop your hands down for a second, and I'm going to go through them one at a time, and you can put your hands up if you think it's the right one to choose. So put your hands up if you think we should click on who are you? We've got some hands. Okay. What about click the link? Who thinks we should click the link? Put your hands up for click the link. Okay, not many hands. And block this user. Block this user. That means don't let them contact you. Eva's got her hand up. Okay. I'm not sure. We had a bit of a mix there. I think we probably have most hands for block this user. So I'm going to go for that one. But remember, when you're playing the game later, you could see what happens.
Block
on the other
block
one.
this user.
Good. 20 points. Blocked. Nice one. This was not an official account, and they even made a spelling mistake. Oh, we spotted that, didn't we? Good job. Nice work. Fabulous.
Phishing scam dodged. You avoided getting phished by not clicking on the link and downloading malicious software.
Malicious is just another word for bad, really, something that we don't want. And software is just another word for a program. Okay.
Oh, no way. I thought I had you there. That's so annoying. It took me ages to make that fake knick-knack account.
Oh my goodness, I think we might have spotted the fisherman, and he's just said that he made the fake nickname account to try and catch us out, to try and scam us. Right, let's see what's going to happen next. Okay, Turtle, how can you avoid security issues with apps? So we've got download apps from anywhere, check the reviews, only download from official app stores, or keep apps up to date. Oh, now in this one we can select more than one, so select all that apply. So I'll give you a minute in your classes, just have a quick chat about that. Which ones do you think I should click on? And then perhaps pop it in the chat, or we can unmute.
I think I might choose 3 of those options, Isabella.
3 of those, okay. Which 3 would you?
Yeah, I would check the reviews first, because that could give you some information, couldn't it? So if there's something that's happened, if it's not been a trustworthy app, someone may have written a review to warn other people.
Good idea. Okay, so that would be a good one to start with. I think download apps from anywhere. We don't just download apps from anywhere, do we? I think we only download from official app stores, and that means we're getting the official app. So why don't we go for check the reviews? We'll go for only download from official app stores. What about keeping apps up to date? Do we think that's important? What do you think, Eva?
Yeah, absolutely. We keep our apps up to date, because cyber criminals are always trying to find new ways to compromise accounts. So if we keep our apps up to date, that can ensure that the latest security software and the latest version of the app is the most secure that we're using.
Okay, so let's
Nice work. To avoid security issues with apps, check the reviews. Only download from official app stores and keep your apps up to date.
Brilliant. So we spotted all of those. So let's continue on. Okay, let's just pop back to our slides for a second. Okay. And share that one. So we heard about blocking there when we were playing the game. And actually, block and report are 2 really, really useful, important tools when we're playing any kind of game, or in any kind of online chat, or any kind of online platform. So I'd like you to have a little think about whether you play any games, or are part of any apps or groups where you've seen block, you've seen report, and when you might need to use those buttons. So block and report, where have we seen them, and when might we need to use them? So I'll give you a moment in your classes to have a little chat about that, and feel free to let us know what you talk about. Now, I think I've seen block and report on lots of different games that I play that have a chat function on them. And reporting, I don't use very often, but I have used it occasionally. So if someone is doing something that's not very nice, or maybe going against the rules of the game or the chat room, then I have used report there. Block is a little bit different from report, because block means that person wouldn't be able to contact you anymore. And that can be quite useful if someone's being a bit annoying or a bit silly, or maybe sending you messages that just aren't very appropriate or aren't very nice. So it's really important, whatever game or app you're playing, you look for those buttons, you look for the block function, and you look for the report function, because that will help keep you really, really safe, and make sure that people aren't bothering you while we're playing, because we don't really want that. Okay, so back to Kelpie Deeps, and we are going to play the Octo mini game. The Octo mini game. Oh, I can see it there. Mini game.
Hi, I'm Octo. I may have a lot of arms, but my email is still chock-a-block. Can you help me sort out my inbox?
Oh, wow. Okay. So you've got mail. Open each email and see if you can spot anything suspicious. This is our email inbox. Okay. There's 4 emails there. This is top movies so far.
Does this look trustworthy?
We might have a vote on this one. So, movies for free is correct. No reply at freemovies.com. It's your lucky day. Here are some free movies for you to watch. We know you're going to love. All legal, we promise. And I can see your little attachment, which is a zip kind of file that sometimes we use to send things. We understand.
We don't know who they are, do we?
We don't, do we? I think should we do a hands up? So I think we're going to have to choose. We don't know who this is from. The email is no reply. We've got some weird kind of S's in that email address. And it says it's all legal, we promise. Now that already is alarm bells ringing for me. I'm thinking, I'm not sure about that. Let's have a little vote. So hands up if you think yes, it does look trustworthy. Hands up for yes, I should definitely open this email. Got one hand. Hands up for no, I shouldn't open it. Who thinks I shouldn't open it? Oh my goodness, so many hands. Okay, so let's go for no. I agree, actually. It's trustworthy.
Now click on anything untrustworthy in this email.
Okay, so this is a tricky bit because now we have to look for those kind of clues, don't we?
All those S's, that's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, should we click on that one because that definitely looks a bit odd.
Untrustworthy email. Look out for email addresses that are unfamiliar or contain spelling mistakes.
Oh, good, we found one of those characteristics. I wondered about this free movies bit because sometimes if someone is trying to send us something that isn't always trustworthy, they sometimes do it with things like files that are attached where it says click on this link or go here or download this. I'm going to try that one.
Dangerous attachment. Emails can have attachments infected with software that intentionally damages your computer or steals personal details. If you're unsure about an attachment, use your antivirus software to scan it.
Okay, so dangerous attachment, that's a good one. So that could be an attachment or it could be a web link to click on. Oh, okay, good. So that we've got the first one. All right, let's have a look at the second one. Daily Fish, Among Us breaks gaming records.
Does this look trustworthy?
Daily Fish newsletter. News at dailyfish.com. The wildly popular game Among Us reportedly had over 3 million users playing at once last weekend. Wow. That looks a bit to me like it's from some kind of news site.
It's not asking us to do anything or click anywhere.
It's not. No, it's Daily Fish newsletter. So it looks a bit like something we might have signed up for to get daily updates of the news too. All right, let's have a vote. So hands up if you think yes, it does look trustworthy. I'd probably do. And no, any votes for no? No, it doesn't look trustworthy. Yeah, I mean it is hard to tell. And do you know what? If you're not sure, I would always just leave it or delete it. It's better to be a bit more careful and cautious, I think. But let's go with trustworthy because I think it looks okay to me. Let's see. Great. Okay, well done. That one was trustworthy. It wasn't asking us to do anything or click anywhere. It wasn't trying to get us to enter any details, etc. Oh, the next one looks interesting. 500 Fort Kite points won.
Does this look trustworthy?
Characteristic. Mr. Smith. Okay, well that sounds like a real name, doesn't it? 500 Fort points won. No reply at Fort Need with lots of ease.com. You just won 500 coins. Claim them now by logging into your account. Log in now. I think I recognise some of those characteristics that we spoke about. Let's have our hands up. Do we think that looks trustworthy? We'll have a hands up for yes. Who thinks that would trust it and it's fine to continue and open it? Who thinks that wouldn't? Not trustworthy, we shouldn't open it. What do you think, Eva?
One word says Fort Kite, and then in the email address it says Fort Neat. It's just something not quite right there.
I wonder why it's got 3 E's. Is it? And remember that one where it said about a sense of urgency, you know, where it was trying to rush us into things. Claim them now by logging into your account. Log in now. I'm wondering if that could pressure under pressure. So I'm going to say no to this one, and let's see. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong.
Now click on anything untrustworthy in this email.
Okay, so it is untrustworthy. So I think we talked about the 14, didn't we? So let's see what it is about that.
Untrustworthy email. Look out for email addresses that are unfamiliar or contain spelling mistakes.
And sometimes we don't always look at the email address that it came from, but that is so important. I do that a lot when I'm trying to work out if a message is okay to open. What else was that? Oh, I wondered about the login now and the
Under pressure.
Yeah, let's see.
Suspicious content. Be careful with emails that promise rewards, gifts, and prizes. Often, if the email sounds too good to be true, it is likely to be a scam.
Yeah, so suspicious content as well. So it was definitely too good to be true. And I think it was under pressure as well. I think generally that one was a bad one. So well done if you thought that you shouldn't open that email. And our final email here is called, have you seen our latest games?
Does this look trustworthy?
So this is from Barefoot Computing, and it's the sender is games@barefootgames.org. Okay. Check out the latest educational adventures from Barefoot. Head to barefootgames.org to view all our games. What do we think? It does have a link in it, but do we know who it's from?
I don't see any spelling mistakes or any bad grammar of this one.
No. There's
It's
no.
not asking us to click on a link either.
No. And it's not promising us anything that's too good to be true. I don't think. It's just saying come to our games. Let's have a vote. Last one then. So hands up for yes, this is trustworthy. Who thinks we should open this one? And no, who thinks it's not trustworthy? A couple of hands to it. Okay, I'm going to go for yes. More.
Phishing scam dodged. You successfully ignored the emails with bad grammar and from unexpected sources.
No! I've been sending out emails all day. How did I not catch you?
Goodness, we're doing quite well with the stars there as well. So we're up to 140 stars and 5 lives. Let's see what Turtle says. How many of these are suspicious features of an email? We'll select all that apply. I'll give you a moment in your class to think about that. These are not to be true. Received in the afternoon. Poor grammar. Unknown sender email address.
I think there's possibly 3 things there that are suspicious features, Isabella.
Yeah. We definitely spoke a lot about their email addresses, didn't we? So I think I'm going to go for that unknown sender email address. Which of the other ones do we think might be suspicious? We talked about offers that seem too good to be true.
Too good to be true.
And then we've got received in the afternoon or poor grammar. I don't think it makes any difference what time we receive the email, does it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But we know that we said about poor grammar, didn't we, in spelling? So I think let's go for that one.
That's right. An offer that is too good to be true, poor grammar, and coming from an unknown sender email address are all suspicious features of an email.
Okay, so we're back at Carpe Deeps again. Now I wonder, I'm just going to pop back to my slides. I just wanted to jump ahead just to talk about passwords quickly. So we know that, am I not sharing yet? Sorry. We know that phishing scams often try to steal our passwords, and cyber criminals, such as the fisherman, might be able to access your account if your password is insecure. If a cyber criminal knows your password, they might even access your account and send out phishing messages that look like they're coming from your account. That's really tricky because it means all of the contacts you have in your online address book will get a message from you and they'll think it's really from you, but actually it's not. So the last thing we're going to think about today is what might happen if we didn't have passwords for our accounts. And I don't know if you remember my password at the beginning, but there was something I said about it actually. So we could think about what makes a good password and how we can keep our passwords safe. So this is the last thing we're going to have a chat about today. So I'm going to give you a moment to do that in your classes. Have a think. What do you know about passwords and password security? I wonder if anyone can remember what I said about my password at the beginning. Feel free to pop it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself if you like. Does anyone remember what I said my password that was shown on the screen had in it? Can you remember, Eva, any of the things that I said it had in it?
Oh, did it have some random words?
Yeah, I mean, it could. Random words is a good one, isn't it? Because we often say that we can use 3 random words. You might even do that in school. So the children that I teach, they have a 3-word password for their logins for their computers. 3 random words is a really good one, isn't it? The one that I had also, I think, had a mixture of letters and numbers. It had some uppercase capitals and it had some lowercase, and it even had some symbols. So it was quite a complicated password.
It wasn't your dog's name.
It wasn't my dog's name. My dog's name. It wasn't something that was easy to guess. And the trick about making a good password is that it has to be easy for you to remember, but hard for someone else to guess. So some of you might have some tips about making your own strong passwords, which perhaps you can talk about in your classes. So I think what we're going to do, just because of time, I'm going to leave it over to you to play the next mini game, because you've still got the pufferfish mini game to play, and then it will take you back to Kelpie Deeps. And what I will say to you, I'm just going to, keep sharing that one. What I will say to you is that you have to be extremely careful when you get to the end of the game, because Eva and I were playing the game the other day, and actually you have to really have your wits about you to see if you can avoid the fisherman trying to fish and hack for your details. So I hope that you're going to enjoy playing that game. And you've got a couple of games left. And then what I'd like you to think about when you finish playing the game is perhaps after playing the game, or even you can think about what we've talked about this morning, is there anything that you're going to start doing or stop doing based on what you've read about or what you've seen in the game? It's also really, really important that you know what to do if you think perhaps you've clicked on something that you shouldn't have, and maybe you have been the victim of a phishing scam, because that happens to all of us. So if that applies to you and you think, oh my goodness, I've opened this link, I shouldn't have, something's happened to my screen, I don't know what to do. Does anyone have any ideas about what they should do if they think they have fallen for a phishing scam? Give you a moment to think of that. So we think, oh no, I've just realised I shouldn't have done that. And usually you might realise just as soon as you've done it. But obviously by then it's a little too late. Eva, what do you think you might do if you thought, oh, I shouldn't have clicked on that. I clicked on something in an email, it didn't look trustworthy, and now I wish I hadn't. What could we do?
We could report it.
Absolutely. So remember, whichever app or game we're in, there's usually a way to report something which wasn't appropriate. And that would hopefully help other people avoid falling for it. And if we were maybe at home or at school, who might we ask for help? Who might we go to rather than maybe just worrying about it? Well, lots of hands up there. Any ideas? Who might we go to? What do we always say if we're not sure what to do when we're using technology, or we make a mistake, we do something we shouldn't have, we're perhaps at home, perhaps it's after school when we're playing a game. What do we always say we should do?
Someone that we trust. Can we
Yeah.
go to someone that we trust for help?
We always talk about trusted adults, don't we? So there'll be a trusted adult either at home or wherever you happen to be. At school, there's tons of trusted adults. It's really important that you actually do ask someone for help, and explain what's happened, and they'll be able to help you from there. Because sometimes if we keep this stuff to ourselves, it just kind of gets a bit worse, and then we might feel really upset about it. And we don't want that, because it's just a mistake that anyone can make. So I hope that you have enjoyed playing the fisherman game. I really hope that you are going to continue playing the fisherman game, perhaps later on today or perhaps at another time. And please remember what I said about being really careful at the end of the game. By the time you get to the end of the game, you are going to be experts at avoiding being fished. So it's been really lovely talking to you this morning. And yeah, please feel free to enjoy all of the barefoot resources that we have on offer.
And always be curious and suspicious when you're playing the game right until the very, very end, because I fell for one of the scams at the very end.
It's a good one. It's a good one. You need to keep your wits about you, that's for sure.
Thank
Fabulous.
you.
And if you did want to put anything on social media about the live lesson that you've just taken part in, you can use the Be Cyber Smart hashtag that you can see here, or you can tag us, Barefoot Computing. So we're at Barefoot Comp, and we'd love to see all about the work that you do and you playing the game. So we hope you've enjoyed it.
Oh, and hashtag csw2024 for Cyber Scotland Week.